his neck for his brother, man.
Shout! Can you dig it?
Chris, my friend, thank you for filling in earlier this week. Great job.
You know what? That was
into last week.
That was Annie this week.
Thursday and Friday. I meant, what I meant.
Yeah.
See, when you're on vacation, things kind of blur together.
I was going to say you look almost tan and rested.
No tan, but yeah, definitely rested. Got a little bit of sleep.
And thank you for the
relaxation.
opportunity as always.
Oh, absolutely. So lots of folks calling in want to talk about this gun issue. I know you were handling some of those calls last week as well. Let me get to them real quick here. John, you're on the radio with Mark and Chris.
Good morning, Mark and Chris.
Good morning.
Howdy.
I'm sitting down here on the Gulf of Mexico listening to you on my phone.
Wow. Nice. We like it.
But how about we take a broom and just sweep out this mess about guns, teachers carrying guns? I'm listening to a gun talk show, the Tom Gresham gun talk show, Sunday night. And he had the guy on from Gun Sight, which is a place out west that teach people how to shoot. And he has 7 high schools out there that the teachers are armed, the ones that want to be. And guess how many school shootings they've had?
None.
And guess how many accidents they've had with a student getting a gun?
I'm guessing none.
And guess how many years these teachers have been armed?
I don't know.
25 years. 25 years.
Yeah.
Now, that sweeps the whole thing right out the door. 25 years of experience of carrying these guns in school, not one single bad situation.
John, I appreciate that information. I knew some schools out there had it. I didn't know it had been that long.
Can I say one more thing about the assault rifles?
Please.
Okay, it wouldn't bother me a bit if the idiots on the left banned the assault rifles. Wouldn't bother me 1 minute, because an assault rifle, an AR-15 goes bang, bang, bang. An assault rifle goes so it wouldn't ban it. It wouldn't even touch AR-15.
Well, they would be sure to word it so it had the word semi-automatic in there somewhere. You know what they're going to do.
Oh, they're going to try to do that, but the truth will out, because we got guys like you and Rush and Sean and Mark Levin that's going to tell people that an assault rifle is an automatic.
Well, thank you for including me in that list that you just mentioned. I appreciate it. John, enjoy sunny Florida.
You are high on my list.
We appreciate the call.
Bye now.
Yep, thank you. John.
I wanted to hear John do the automatic sound effect again. He did that really well.
I can remember playing Army when I was a kid. In my backyard, we had some work that was being done in the backyard, and they dug a trench for like a sewer pipe or something. They had the dirt all mounded up, and we'd go out there with our little wooden guns and go. Yep. That was a good imitation.
You know, Mark, like you, my mother was also a teacher. My mother was about 5 foot tall.
I've met her. She's a sweet lady.
Yeah, she was very gregarious in class, but she was 5 foot tall, and I don't know if I would want her having a gun while she's teaching. But I would like to have the guy that's down the street, that's an NRA, or down the hallway from her, that's an NRA member that goes hunting during the weekends, for him to have a gun so that in case an intruder comes into the school, they're protected. I heard an NRA teacher was at CPAC, and she said, I want to have my gun in the classroom. I'm a sitting duck. We're all just sitting ducks sitting there. If I'm qualified to carry this gun, why can't I have my gun with me?
I know teachers with concealed carry who've expressed that exact same thing to me. Yeah. Did you ask your mother if she'd be comfortable with something like that?
I don't need to.
Okay, you don't need to ask her. You know that she wouldn't be.
Yeah, I know.
And I assume that a lot of people wouldn't be. But the fact that you can't also assume that none of them would be. Okay. And then what's the problem with giving them that opportunity? It's the same thing I hear. Our friend Alex Salzman from the Missouri Firearms Coalition, who's been doing a lot of lobbying down in Jeff City this week. I heard her point out that they've got all these folks up there screaming that they'd be uncomfortable if they were sitting in a restaurant and somebody walked in with an open carry weapon on their hip. And maybe that would make people uncomfortable because they can see it. But for the people who conceal carry, you never know that they have it.
Yeah.
The kids in the classroom wouldn't know that the teacher had it. It's not like there's a big flashing sign that says "I'm armed" when you're carrying concealed. If you're doing it properly, it's there if you need it. If not, it's like a wallet or anything else. You don't pull it out unless you need it.
You know, a big elephant in the room seems to me with this debate of not having teachers have guns or not having guns. Are the people against this? Are they worried that the teacher may just go crazy one day and pull out a gun and kill all her students? It seems like that's an undercurrent of that. Is that's why we don't want them to have them, because one of them may go crazy and shoot up their class.
It's not a matter of the teacher having the gun in a holster on the side of the desk. I mean, it's going to be hidden somewhere or in a lockbox where the teacher could go in and open it real quick and get the gun out if some intruder drill happens, if they felt they needed to defend themselves. But it's not going to be available to
But I'm just
children.
saying,
I think that's the concern.
What if a teacher didn't take their Prozac one day, comes into class, and there is the gun there in the classroom, and and it's locked up, and she just says, you know what, I'm going to take you and all my class out today. I think that's their concern, but I think it's blown way out of proportion, if that is a concern. If it is.
Here's the bottom line: is if a teacher's that crazy, they're going to do that anyway, whether it's a gun-free zone or not in the school, right?
Yeah.
So I think
that's their argument. I really do.
It gets back to the ignorance of the left about weapons.
About
people who've not grown up around them, maybe, and have an innate fear of this inanimate object that can't shoot itself. Somebody has to pick it up and pull the trigger. It's crazy. Let me get to Dom real quick here, and then we'll get to a break. Dom, how are you?
Great, thank you.
Sure. What's going on?
Mark, what an awesome program as usual, and listening to everyone's comments. I mean, so informational, so knowledgeable, so straightforward. It's a blessing that you're out there. Thank you.
I appreciate that, my brother. Thank you.
And I'll make this as brief as I can. Basically, you've touched almost every hot button. A little thing like when I was a kid, my brothers and I would carry our rifles with boxes of shells in our pockets up to our Boy Scout meetings through neighborhoods that were densely populated.
Right.
Nobody said a word. We'd get on the bus at the church and ride down with the troop to Washington University, where we would shoot and practice at Washington University's gun range that was indoors that they had for their ROTC people. And, what is the problem out here? It's sad when people are listening to teenagers talk about something of which they have been taught nothing about the failed education system that we have, that they don't understand what the Second Amendment is about at all. It is a very pathetic thing, and what's equally pathetic is that the teachers that are teaching them don't understand it because they haven't taught them. And then you've got the parents of those same students that are equally as pathetic because they're allowing them to espouse dogma that is simply not true.
Yeah, very true.
You see commentary on where we are today, which was the basic reason for my call. You said it earlier at the very beginning, how you've lost people that you thought were friends. And I love the fact that you said what I've been saying all along: you can't be politically correct anymore. Those people want the guns, and they're just finally letting it out, and you have to stand up to it. I'm a member of a nonprofit organization which is a bunch of great people having a good time doing the same thing that everybody else likes, driving these beautiful, nice, sporty cars. I won't mention the organization. And the gentleman in that club brought up an opportunity for everybody to attend a sharpshooter event where everybody can go and shoot at a gun club and have fun. And we got an email from the president of the club that said the club would like to have enough people on hand to be there to help everyone who's never been shooting a gun before and would like to have enough people to help them, like the NRA.
Right.
Have them have a good time. So would everybody who is going, who's never shot before, please respond and let us know so they have enough people there to make sure everybody has a good time, which was excellent. And everybody was responding. If you weren't going, nobody, they just didn't say they were going. But one person said, and here was the email, "We don't do guns." Now, they didn't have to say that, but it was a poke in the eye of everybody in the club that was a gun enthusiast. Now, I simply responded, "I'm sorry to hear that. You won't have the opportunity to shoot with all the great people in this club and miss out on an opportunity to have fun in an unbiased situation with no media overlooking and giving negative overtones to it." And by the way, and I thank the gentleman who brought that opportunity to the club and let them know that it was a great thing.
Well, more people should do stuff like that. Dom, I'm going to have to get to a break. I appreciate the call, though.
Not a problem.
Yep, great point,
Mike.
my friend. Thank you. Appreciate that. Chris, let me get to a break.
Sure.
We got some people on hold, but I also want to talk about this protest that you went down and covered yesterday and got us some sound of these people, the same ones that protested the Jason Stockley verdict and all that, screaming for Eric Greitens' head on a plate. We'll get to more of that. Chris got us some interviews when he was down there.
Mark Cox exclusive.
It is a Mark Cox exclusive because a lot of the media completely ignored this thing, and I want you to hear some of what they had to say. 314-9